Hey everyone, this is Jay Grams here at the Volo Museum Auto Sales. We're going to do our showroom walkthrough, and today I'm going to point out what I feel are unique features. Right here we've got a very unique feature. This is part of our museum collection. It's a turbine prototype tractor. Speaking of unique features, there's Eric, one of our salesmen. He's as unique as they get. More on that later. Here's a 1957 Chevy. Couple unique features. Little flipper, they call it. See how this little chrome tab flips up out of the way? When you close the door, it closes up, on the window, seals it much better. You have this here, it's called a fingernail guard, so you don't scratch up the paint. Mostly, hey, how can we add more chrome to a car that's already loaded with chrome? But check this out inside. Hopefully it's not too dark in here. This is a tissue dispenser. You put a box of tissues in there and you pull out your Kleenex when you need it. So you certainly don't see that in today's cars. And then how about good old fender skirts? You take them off to show the tire, or you put the skirt on, cover it up. How about safari windows? We joke around saying that's your air conditioning on one of these Volkswagen buses. What other unique features are there? Well, this has got a good one. Push button transmission. Yeah, drive, neutral, reverse, second. You actually push the button to shift the gears. Right here is a 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner. There's your unique feature. I've read that they spent $50,000 back then developing the sound of the Roadrunner horn. How about right here? Rally Sport hideaway headlights. When you turn on the headlights, the little electric doors open. And then how about red line tires? You don't see red striped tires. They even had gold lines back then, even blue lines. You don't see that these days. Oh boy, I'm kind of winging it here. Cowl induction. There's actually more air. Set this down. More air comes in. This feeds right into the engine, hits the windshield and comes in, and that forces through into the air cleaner. When you see them cars with the big hood scoops, the wind is actually going right over those. That's more functional than the big scoops. Now see, that air is fed through this hole right into the engine. This seals up against the hood there. That's cowl induction. Oh, this has got one of my favorite features. A pistol grip shifter. Literally, just like it sounds. It's like holding a pistol. It's a great feel, just fits in your hand perfectly. I love that shifter. I often thought about what it'd be like to take all your favorite features from all the different brands and put them into one car. We got another Rally Sport with the hideaway lights here. Another push button transmission. How about antenna? Well, tail fins. That was a unique feature. Look at the size of the tail fin. The 59 Cadillac, I think, gets the award for the most extravagant. And then they even put the antennas on top of it. There's a unique feature from the factory. You got side exhaust coming out the side of the car. The back tire is actually bigger than the front tire, just to raise it up a little more to give ground clearance. And speaking of pistol grip shifters, this one has one as well. '63 Dodge Max Wedge. This is all about the high performance. Has a big dual quad engine. Unique features underneath the car, they're factory dumps. You can unbolt a plate on the exhaust, so the exhaust coming right off the engine exits out. So you don't have the back pressure of the mufflers, gives you a little more power. louder than hell, but from the factory, this came with exhaust dumps. How about a pop-up racing gas cap? Just like you see on the race cars, you know, they pop it open, they need to put the gas in as fast as possible. Well, that was a factory feature back then. Spinners. How about spinners on the hubcaps? That's a unique feature. And tri-power carbs. Well, you're not going to see it really underneath that big old air cleaner, but there's 3 carburetors. It runs on this center carburetor, run nice and smooth, and then when you accelerate so far, then the linkage opens up the other 2. So then you're dumping all 3 carburetors, 6 barrels at one time. Here's the big scoops I talked about. You would think all sorts of air would be forced in there, but that cowl induction, I read, is more functional than that hood scoop right there. How about a shaker hood scoop? This is a ram air system. They call it the shaker hood. It's attached to the motor, so that's moving with the motor. About turn signals built right into the hood, so when you're in the car, you can actually see the turn signals. Oh, what else have we got for unique features? There's another ram air. You think of a 55 T-Bird, you don't think of a muscle car, but that's ram air right there. Corvettes, obviously, with the hideaway headlights. And this here is a unique feature, but it is custom, how the hood tilts forward. Originally, you pop the hood and it just lifts up, but that's a custom design there. Speaking of cowl induction, just like the Camaro, that wind is forced in to the engine through this little door. When you start the car, this closes. And then when you lose vacuum by revving the engine, this opens and you get that forced air into the motor. And it's cool to watch it open and close as you hit the throttle. How about pony interior? Technically, it's a deluxe interior, but it has the 2-tone seats with the pony on the seats right here. There's ponies embossed right on the seats. That's why they call it the pony interior. This is an SS. They nicknamed these ice cube trays. These are fake air induction. They're just there for looks. They look like ice cube trays. Why don't we head over to Showroom 2, see what other unique features we can find. All right, we're gonna walk through Showroom 2. Why don't you leave your comments about what unique features you remember on the old cars growing up, or what cars you'd like me to focus on in next week's tour. Here's a 57 Ford. This is certainly a feature you don't see on today's cars. They are spotlights that you control from inside, and these even have a mirror on the backside, so it serves as a mirror and a spotlight. This has one on each fender. Chevy Nomad, this was their 2-door station wagon. As the tailgate, it opens up, and then the window opens from on top. The Nomads have a different bumper. See how it's notched in, so you can stand there and reach in, where a regular 55 Chevy is straight across. This GTO is a really cool feature. Actually, this might be the highest option GTO there is for 1966, but this has what they call a reverb. How many of you remember what the reverb is? It was before stereo, I believe, and it had a twanging sound. I always say it sounds like you're in a metal 55-gallon drum when you turn on the radio. It's really a cool effect. Watch out for the test drive video of this coming up soon. Michael will maybe demonstrate that. And here's something you certainly don't see on today's cars: racing hood pins. That was to keep the hood from flying up. You know, race cars use that, and they just incorporated it into the production cars just to give that cool race car vibe. Got some more red line tires. Oh, I know this 55 Chevy has a couple cool features. Yeah, this is loaded up with the features. That right there is a viewfinder. When the traffic light used to hang in the center of the intersection, and a lot of these cars used to have visors too, you could look in there and it would show you what color the stoplight was. This also has the tissue dispenser, and it has the Wonder Bar radio. You hit this button and it automatically scans to the next station. And then it also has the spotlights. Yeah, this is a loaded up 55 Chevy. 58 Pontiac has some cool features. Back then they were into hiding the gas cap. I sold the 56 Chevy to a guy, and it's behind the tail light, and he embarrassingly called me at the gas station saying he didn't know how to put gas in his car. The bucket seats are very unique in this car, front and back. I think this is the first car to have that. And then right here, this is something cool. It's called the Safeguard, or it's also sometimes called the Speed Minder. You set it at a certain speed. Let's just say you set it at 55, and when you hit 55, it'll buzz. It'll let you know, hey, you're hitting your limit. And then the coolest feature of this car is this rocket right here. Even has a little red reflector for the thruster. I think that is so freaking cool. You can go to volocars.com. You can look at every one of these cars and read all the information, watch videos, find the price tags. Couple unique features. You got a big old wing or spoiler hanging on the back of the trunk lid here. And they do this now, even the Dodge trucks offer that. It's a notched out bumper with the flared trumpet tips, they call those. Oh, how about snakeskin? This is from the factory. Actually, this is a low mile car. This is original from 1973, snakeskin top. How many of you remember the plastic on the seat covers? Even going to your grandma's house and the couch would all be covered in plastic. This one, they even made plastic sun visor covers. This car was completely covered in plastic. That's a time capsule right there. Oh, what else have we got that's a unique feature? Yeah, more cowl induction hood with racing pins, stripes. Put a lot of stripes on cars back then. We just bought this car from the comedian Fluffy. Talk about hiding the gas cap. There's a 57 Chevy. Gas cap's hidden behind the trim right there. Gizmos and gadgets. Yeah, we'll go this way here. And this is a Ram air system, but look at this. It's way under here somewhere. Yeah, here's the scoops. That's fed right into the carburetor. Now, I would imagine those are pretty effective. This is a rare car, W31 4-speed. Another shaker hood. Now this is unique, a Woody. The bodies were made out of wood. They had to be handmade, hand assembled on the production line, but that's actual real wood, that's not pretend. These were known, popular at the beaches, comes with the surfboard, 3-row seating. All right, let's do one more showroom. Let's head over to showroom 3 and see what else we can find that's unique. Now we're in showroom 3. We'll see what other unique features we can find. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're always posting great video content of cars, test drives, showroom walkthroughs, all sorts of cool stuff. And let me know in your comments, again, what you'd like to see more of. Here's a unique feature. I kid and say it's the early head-up display. It's actually a tachometer mounted outside on your hood, so you look through the windshield at your RPMs. We're gonna cut over here. 50 Pontiac Catalina Super Deluxe. This hood ornament, this Indian head, actually lights up. That's what made me buy the car. I was all over this car. I had to decide, and I literally told the guy, I said, turn that on. If it lights up, we got a deal. I think these are worth mentioning. The round tail lights on the 65. I love them. People love them. 66, they did away with it. And I actually would buy a 65 over a 66 all day long. A very unique feature is sitting in this 71 Roadrunner. It's called a dictaphone. It's actually a cassette player, cassette recorder from Chrysler. It came with this car. It's documented on the paperwork. And it was for the businessman who wanted to leave himself notes as he's driving down the road. And, oh yeah, I have a meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and you'd leave yourself notes on a cassette. Cassettes weren't a thing back then. It was 8 tracks. So again, very, very unique feature. Roadrunner horn, unique feature. And here's another Ram air system. You have to check out the video of this car, but when you start it, this opens up and it's got some wild, like looks like a shark or something on the side with teeth. Very cool, unique feature. Let's come over here and look at this 57, see if they hid the gas cap on this one. Well, it's hidden behind the side trim here. This car's a Survivor, just a really nice, clean, original Survivor. And then turn behind you real quick. This is called a cattle guard. Remember, more chrome, the better. Called that a cattle guard. Also has the dual spotlights. Also has the finger guards here. El Camino. Say it's the opposite of a mullet. It's party in front with the Chevelle front end and business in back with the truck box so you can do your work. Some more cool exhaust tips, little louvers in there coming right out through the valance. Here's a unique car that many of you haven't even heard of before. It's called the Redbird. This car has 6,000 actual miles. This is a time capsule. 1978 Firebird Redbird. Comes with the red, obviously, and all the gold striping and the wheels and gold on the steering wheel. 6,000 miles. We have a 57 Chevy that's really unique because this is the base model. No frills at all, no fancy hubcaps, minimal trim. The rear windows don't roll down. There's not even a back seat. There's just a platform in there. It was usually for the traveling salesman, just your basic economy car. Look at no radio, no cigarette lighter, no heater controls. What makes this special, someone in in the know, ordered this stripped down, lightweight, cheapest car possible, and he ordered it with the fuel injected motor and the 3-speed trans. Pretty much built himself a race car from the factory. See if we can find a couple more features before we go. A lot of this stuff I take for granted, but wire wheels. You don't see wire wheels on cars. Another tissue dispenser, fingernail protectors. And you'll see some of these cars have seat belts. They didn't have seat belts back then. 67 is when it became a law, so anything up to then, it was an option. You will also notice in the old cars ashtrays. I think we had a 58 Cadillac. The ashtray was like the size of a glove box, but they don't have cup holders in any of these old cars. Now today we have cup holders and no ashtrays. Speaking of cup holders, Duncan, if you're watching, I'm open for sponsorship. All right, well, I think that'll wrap up today's showroom walkthrough. Again, leave your comments, tell us your stories, tell us what you'd like to see more of, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit volocars.com. Thanks for watching.